Hi there, good morning. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I've got 30 minutes of my day to spend. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. I hope wherever you are, maybe you're finally relaxing and having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or maybe a sparkling water with lemon. Look at this handsome fellow. I have been looking for. Hold on, let me grab it. I want to recover the fabric on this book. And I've been going through all kinds of papers. I've got books of wrapping paper that are very pretty. I've got scrapbook papers that are very pretty. And of course, I've got an endless supply of books in various cut-up stages that I find through my thrifting sources. But I really, really felt like this needs to be an unusual book. So I really wanted to put like an old master's painting here. I think that would look cool. So I went through a huge stack of books. I actually was surprised at how many I had. I'm going to move my microphone a little closer. I'm still learning how to use it. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't too noisy. And hopefully it's recording all right. Yesterday was my first day. Today is my second day. So I guess we'll see. Anyhow, I looked through here, and as you can see, there were 3 that were contenders for the cover. So let's go to the back one. The last one here that was a contender. I rather liked her, and I'll tell you what I was looking for. First of all, I was looking for colors that I felt would complement black and brown and red and gold. This blue here, who knows how they came up with using the blue fabric. Maybe at one point it was gray. I'm not sure. Hard to say. Or maybe they didn't really care that, this is the part that shows on when it's on a bookshelf. And this is the part you look at when you hold it in your hand. It could very well be that. Now, I'll tell you what I did discover. I'm already off topic. This, at some point, has already been taken apart and rebound. And I think that's why it's got these cool cords here that they used to bind it again. Because I was looking at it closer, trying to decide how big I'm going to need my end papers. And I thought, I saw this little, here, I saw that little mark there. And then over here, these 2 little marks. And then I realized with the marbled paper, I thought, hold on, and there's that. I realized these aren't the original end papers. So who knows? Who knows why? It's definitely the correct text block in the correct cover. So who knows what happened? Maybe there was more going on with the spill. Remember, there was some fluid damage on the text block. So we'll never know. All I know is these are not the original end papers to the book, which means now that could still be the original owner, because the book was published in 1925, and that's 1929. So close enough for me. Anyhow, so let me get back on topic. So I'm looking for a painting that would be very complementary to a sort of a dark black, brownish black. In old master paintings, and that it's never a true black. Your eye sees black, but it's actually a mixture, and there's many different paints that you can mix together and achieve a black color of paint. So what I'm looking for is something complementary to this shade, and I'm looking for a brown, a warm red, and something that would look quite nice with a little bit of that gold gilding. And I thought she did. It says here it's a portrait of the Empress Josephine. So I thought I liked the red. I liked the browns. She's reclining on some rocks. And the dark shades in here. I thought she might look quite nice right here. But she didn't win. So don't get your hopes up. And then you'll never guess who also made was a contender. This lady here. I thought the shades of brown and the sort of warmish gold shades would make her, and the very dark shades, her cloak and her hair and the veil on her head. You can just see it ever so slightly that she's actually wearing a veil over her hair. So I thought maybe Mona Lisa would look kind of cool on the front of Shakespeare. But even Mona Lisa did not win. The winner is over here. Right here. I like this painting. There's the colors I'm looking for. I like that it's curious. I like that this painting really makes you go, what all is going on in here? And I actually want to find out more about this painting because the artist is telling you things in this painting. Especially, they loved putting in these convex mirrors into paintings, and sometimes if you look closely, like because of this convex mirror, you can tell that there's a window on the other side of the room where the light source is coming from. Things that are on the shelf would have symbolism, and I'm very interested in finding out a little bit more. It says that the artist is Quentin Matsys, born approximately 1465, died 1530, and the title of the painting is called The Moneylender and His Wife. So I really, I really rather like this. And I think I'm actually going to be able to cut it down the middle and just use the one painting for both covers. We'll see. So they're the ones I loved. Also, I loved that her red dress or coat matches this red. Browns in the picture, her hat and the browns, of course, go with the browns. Counting money, the pieces of gold there matches the gold. And of course, my favorite thing, she's leafing through a book. So I really, really like that she's looking through a book. So, and she's going to be on the cover. And I like that she's sort of glancing that way. Maybe she's trying to see what the title of the book is. Hey, I'm on a book. What's this book I'm on? You know what? There's no explaining. So this is it. That's going to be on the cover of this All Sorts book. So I'm just going to take it out so I can put this big clunker away. There we go. I'm going to put that aside. Where can I put this for now? Alrighty. I'm going to put this aside. I'm actually going to work on this later today. I have a few things on my desk today. I did do a bit more work on my own personal book, Robin's, that I'm finishing. I had a lot of leftover pages from last year's bullet journal. I take out the unused pages every year from bullet journals. And this is, I think this is a Moleskine. And usually I use a Leuchtturm. And this one actually is bigger. It had more pages in it than a Leuchtturm, which is why I had way more pages left over. So this will be going in my box for taxes because I write numbers in it. And but I had lots and lots, as you can see, of leftover bullet pages, and I thought I'm going to put them into my Robin's book. So I cut them down to fit better because they were a little too big. And I've decided I'm going to put 7 signatures in. So I've made my my template so that I can sew my new book, my text block together. And I'll probably do that later today. I'll snuggle up on the couch and put something on TV, and I'll just sew it on the couch. So that is good to go. Oh, here I can show you. Sometimes people wonder when I say about I'm going to sew through a book cover, and you can see right here I have literally sewn, although I glued the lace down first. Oh, and I did treat myself. Yesterday I was puzzling. I was thinking about discounting myself, and I thought, after I turned off my camera, I thought, no, I deserve all the lace. If I was going to make this journal for someone else, I would put lace on both sides. So I thought, I'm not going to shortchange myself just because this is for me. So what I did was, for these little this little lace trim, I glued it down first, just very lightly, but enough to hold it in place so that when I ran it through the sewing machine, it held up. And I actually, you can't tell on this side, and I knew that that would be the case, but I used a zigzag stitch in order to get better coverage of the whole lace. Sometimes when you sew through a book cover, especially a thin strand of lace, if you just sew a straight line down the center of the lace itself, and I think I'm going to sneeze, and I'm going to try my best to sneeze on the other side where my mic is not if I sneeze. No, I'm not. Sometimes if you run a straight sewing stitch down the center, those sides will want to curl up and it'll become three-dimensional. If you like that, leave it be. I wanted this to lay flat, and the best way to do that is to simply go down it with a zigzag stitch, and it'll catch more places, and then you'll get your lace to lay down better. So you can see there zigzag stitches. And I also went back in and took out, I put in larger darts into there just for more. I love a really flexible book, and that just made that a little bit better. So I will work on this on my own later on in front of something pleasurable on TV that isn't remotely the news. I'm escaping, and that's it. I'm just staying in my house and not turning on the news. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know, at least for today. So that's going to be a nice little book. I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet because I still have my other book that I plan on using this year. This one that I made, hold on. There we go, that I made out of a notebook from Dollar Tree. So this is the one I plan on using for this year, and it's my first time in many years that it's not a bullet journal. So we'll see. There's my little bookmark from Your Creative Studio. Woohoo! Alrighty, so let's put these aside. And you know what I'm going to work on for the rest of our time? I think we've got about 15 minutes. Although I can tape for longer now, which is nice to know. If I'm ever in the middle of something, I've had that happen so many times. But I can record longer now. Thank you to Susan. So I was talking about these spur of the moment yesterday, and I hope that's clear. I'm sitting down comfortable, and I don't want to have to stand up and look, but anyhow, I found these a month or so ago, 2 packages of them at my thrift store. And I thought, that's interesting, because I immediately recognized what they were for. They're for to put on the end of on the edge of a page, either at the top or on the side, so that you can find it in a book. So say this is a book, you can put it up here, and it gives you a tab at the top of the book. Or else I like that it could also be a tab out the side of the book. And they're nice and sturdy, I think because they're quite long. And I thought, boy, I really like that. I don't like the colors. This is not me. No offense to anyone who enjoys those colors, but they're not me. And that's when I knew, for us junk journalers, that never stops us. We know how to decoupage, which is immediately what I did with some of these. And then I got to thinking, the paper clips that came with these have a squared off top. I think I will stand up so I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh, come on. Come on, you. There we go. I'm going to stand up. So they have a squared off top. See right here. But I thought, you know, if somebody wanted to make one of these themselves without one of these, I don't see why they couldn't. So I recovered this one, and I just used a regular paper clip in it, and it works. And then I recovered this one with a map, and I used a rusty paper clip, and that looks really cool. So I just thought for today, let's cover one up. Oh, and then it got me to thinking, these, you don't necessarily need this, right? You could use a little paper tab. You could just use a rectangle, a cardstock rectangle. All you need is the slot through it so that you can slide your paperclip through. So let me find my little collage bits bin here. And let's just get to work. Now, glue, glue, glue. Notice too, the public just opened up. That looks cute. All right, you know what? I need a piece of paper. I can't believe it. I can go over here and get paper, and you can still hear me. Oh my goodness, it's decadent. So hold on. There we go. So what I've been doing is, because I had a Crafty Crush date with Nancy the other day, and I just worked on these while she's cleaning out her stuff. She's cleaning her stash. And she's got quite a stash, that lady. So, and she's doing, I'm looking forward to it, she's doing a series for the rest of us on how to clean our stash. So I'm just making sure all the edges are covered. And covering one side. Where's my scissors? Here we go. And cutting that off. And then I'm just going to use another little piece of it to cover that little tip down there. Just there. Oh, you're being tricky. Don't be slippy. I'm still getting used to my purple glue, but I do like it. Okay, so now I find that I like to trim the one side before I do this side. That way I can follow my edge. So what I've been doing is doing them at least in pairs of 2. Come on. So that I can let this one dry and not just sit here and wait for it to dry. All right, let's use this one. So, more purple glue. I'm just going to take this side off and use it to cover up that little tip again, like we just did over there. So thank you to everyone for your pep talks when I was mentioning yesterday about the snarky commenters that seem to crawl out of the woodwork over the new year. And it wasn't that bad. Don't get me wrong. Nobody called me any names or that, but clearly a lot of them were not reading my preview where I actually say, look, I don't edit. I turn it on, I turn it off, and whatever's in the middle of whatever I'm working on, that's the video for the day. So they obviously didn't read it. And while part of me is tempted to say, oh, what am I doing? I want to let this dry first. Part of me wanted to say, read the intro, save yourself some heartache. But it's just easier to hit the garbage can, send it to the garbage. Then you don't reignite any kind of distress that they were feeling from obviously wasting 20 minutes of their life seeing if your video was for them and finding out that it wasn't. So I trim the one side first because I need to be able to trim the next side. And I found through trial and error that sometimes I can hold things up to the window and I can see the edge and I can trim my edge fine. But in this case, I couldn't. So now here's something I do. The first few that I recovered and decoupaged, I literally cut that little hole out. And I've since learned you don't need that whole, that whole hole, W-H-O-L-E, the whole hole. You just need a slot. So what I do now is I use a sharp little X-Acto blade or whatever you choose to use, and I just poke it through right now. There we go. So, and it's hardly even noticeable, but you need that in place because once you decoupage this side, not only would you not see the edge, you won't see where that hole is. And trust me, I learned that through experience. I had to try and feel my fingers, feel the paper with my fingers, and oh, I like that. Let's put you on there and find the hole. Let's put you there. There you go. It is such a miserable overcast day here where I am. So now you can see I can cut around the edge because I can see it. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it dry. but I'll move over and work on this one for now. So I'm going to take that. So imagine, do you see what I mean? How, although I'm decoupaging over these funny little shapes, it sort of looks like a tooth. And I'm not sure why they chose that shape, but they did. I don't see any reason why just a rectangle about that size. Use your corner chomper to round those edges. I don't see why you can't make the same, basically the same thing. And I don't see why this part, I don't see any reason why that needs to be pointed. I think a rectangle could work just fine. Now that I think about it, I think any shape could work just fine. So I'm going to do it again. There's that hole. So I guess if we were using something else instead of decoupaging over this, we'd just have to create a new hole. And we probably could do that after the fact and just stab through it one time. I just happen to be doing it right now while I'm at it. Okay, let's do this one. So I may very well later today, if I feel like it, or maybe if I get some crafty crush time, I'll play with, I love treble clefs. I'm going to try and fit that treble clef in. I may try my hand at making it with just a rectangle. Just cardstock rectangle. Alrighty. And let's put some more down here. What have I got? Where is some music? I don't need too much. That'll do. Oh, I've glued it right down. All right. All right, so now we're going to trim this. Now, don't worry too much if it feels a little rough around your edges. If you're feeling a little rough around the edges, because we will fix that. Okay, so now because I know where the hole is, oh, see, I'm going to dismiss that and I'm just going to keep talking because I'm not done. I'm just going to poke through it again. But see what I mean? If I was using something else, I think all I'd have to do is just poke a hole through whatever it is I'm working on. And I find that you don't even need to have a hole per se, just a slot so that you can slip your paper clip through. Now, here's what I do. The edge is kind of rough going around all those edges. Get out your sanding block. That's the best thing, and it really gives it a nice professional finish. I use my sanding block probably every day. When I'm making little Catherine cards, when I'm making Two Nana's bookmarks, anytime that I have decoupaged something that that I want the edges to look really professionally finished, your sanding block is your best friend. You can get the disposable kind and it'll last you forever. I just happen to have this one from actual sanding. For many years, my husband and I, we really were a good little painting team. I would go around filling the holes and sanding the plaster and that, and then I was the cutter-inner and he was the roller. And we could do a room. We could get 2 coats on a room and finished, and furniture back in place, usually in one long day or at least one weekend. We got along and enjoyed it. We're just finding now, I mean, I'm 62 now. He's a little bit older than me. Our old bones are starting to hurt. The last room we tried to paint afterwards, we both sort of went, "Are you sore?" Yeah. And we realized, you know what? It might be time next time we paint to have young people come in and get it done. But for many years, my goodness, we really enjoyed ourselves. So now, see, that's all new looking. And of course, I don't want it to look new. So I'm going to go around the edge, darken the edge, and then I'm still going to ink it anyways, especially because this is old paper. I'm back to using this thing again. And I remember not liking it, and now I kind of like it. I have a fickle junk journaling heart, I guess, because I don't mind it. Maybe it's because that foam thing is now nice and really beat up. I'm glad, because I still have a whole bunch of new ones. These are replaceable for anyone who's never used one of these applicators. And I have a whole bunch of them. And for a while there, I thought, well, that was a waste of money. I don't like the thing. And it turns out I'm enjoying it. Who'd have thought? I still use my makeup sponges because I like a different one for every color of distress ink that I use. And I just write the name of what color it is. But for this one, who'd have thought? I enjoy it. All right, so there we go. That's all inked up. Now here's the little kicker. Oh, there's a little, there we go. I'm going to find a regular, this is the original one with the squared off top. I'm going to find a regular paper clip just so that I can show you that you can do it. You can do it with a regular paper clip. So now we've put our slot, it's there. I'm going to push that one side through and push that paper clip in place. And there we go. Now let's find here. I'll grab the text block for Shakespeare. And so here's the one we just made. And let's pretend we're putting it in here. Wouldn't these make great just a bookmark if you're reading a book and you know where you've finished off? And there we go. A little tab at the top of the book, but you can move it wherever you want. I like that. Well, I'll finish this one and then I'll sign off for the day. So it's not going to get any more exciting after this. Maybe I'll just sign off because I'm just going to finish this the same way I finished the other one. No point showing off that my camera will let me tape longer now. So I just smooth off that rough edge. So it's got a nice finished edge. Ink it up. Use your X-Acto blade to put a new sliced hole far enough down so that this sticks up however high you want it to be able to stick up from the top of your book or out the side of your book. And then you're good to go. Then you've got lots of these little things. If I find that I've got time later today and I make some just from a regular you know, even a circle. I don't see why a circle couldn't work. Punch out a circle or a square, or even like a tag shape. A tag shape I think would work, and you could put a thread or a ribbon through the hole of the tag. I don't see why that wouldn't work too. Pretty cool. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll talk soon. I will show you I'll show you what I get done on Shakespeare. I will work on it a bit today, but I'll catch you up on whatever it is I've done. I suspect it's just going to be gluing that picture onto the cover, and that's easy peasy. Take care, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye.